Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 10 job interview disasters that took place. It has been quite some time since I shared this. Primarily because I didn't have enough and more examples. But what I generally tend to do is whenever anyone shares with me, oh, this is what happened at the interview, or this is the incident, I have a Google Doc where I keep these incidents. And when it reaches a certain point, like maybe 5 or 10 or whatever, then I make a video. So I finally managed to get 10, 10 job disasters of people who were actually searching for jobs. And instead of being selected, they got rejected. Okay. These are the jobs in the Middle East, because I told you my contacts, especially UAE, Dubai, UAE, these are the incidents that have taken place. 1 or 2 is from Saudi and Qatar. But then I will not specifically tell you that this is Saudi, this is Qatar. You can just take it as Dubai, UAE. Okay, generally. So put down your thoughts. Out of these 10, which one really stands out in no particular order? And tell me, what do you think? Okay. For those of you new to my channel, name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I'm involved in helping people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, okay, through personal branding, and Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. Those are the places. I lived there for 40 years. People also book my services for coaching, consulting when they want my advice on anything, especially, sometimes when people migrate to Canada, Australia, USA, or Europe. Before they do that, they want some advice, or coming to the Middle East. Okay, details are put down below. So these are the 10 job disasters. Tell me which one is your favorite, or which one is like, ooh, okay, fine. Number 1, like I said, no particular order. Number 1, this job interview, they were looking for someone who was very confident. And it was primarily for a lady who take up role as a manager, independent. And so they had this, I think, final round of interviews where the owner would take the final interview, third interview. And, when the owner is there, he's very particular. And in most of these companies, they tend to have cameras everywhere just to check. So I know the owner. So the owner told me that this lady, she was the only one who came with her husband, okay, for all the 3 interviews. And he didn't know this, because obviously he's only interested in the final candidates. So in the final interview, it seems when the lady came, remember, the job position is for a lady. So this lady came with her husband, and he was, checking out the camera, and he's saying that the husband is literally like, as if you are taking your horse to drink water, or a donkey. So he would sit down, and then you tell his wife to sit down. So he was busy looking at all this, and husband is sitting down, then the wife should sit down. And when the wife is going to drink water, she'll offer the husband. So there's too much of that husband-wife. The interview went okay, but then when he had to make a choice between an independent female versus a female with a husband, he decided not to take that female. And when I asked him why, he said, he told me this, see, Loy, if she is so much under his control that he has to be there when she goes for the interview, like even if, let's assume that he went to pick and drop her, but he can sit in the car. He doesn't have to come and see where she is. And he has come for all the 3 interviews. And then when sitting down, first the husband has to sit down, then only she sits down. And when she's getting water, she'll offer the husband. It's more like this husband is the most important guy. I'm not employing the wife. I'm employing the husband. So maybe I'll have to take the permission of the husband. So He said, based on that very criteria, he rejected her. So I don't know. Do you think he did the right thing or wrong thing? So that's number one. Number two, this one is dealing with the smart aleck, that is today's generation. Young man from this university. What is the name? Heruit what? Heruit what? Or some fancy name. So young guy, dynamic, everything good. Lady who was taking the interview. So she asked him, this typical smart ass questions. Why should we select you for this company or this position? Why should you? Now, generally, when they ask you why should you, you need to convince them. He trying to be the smart ass that he was, maybe because that lady, she's attractive, so maybe he was trying to score some points with her or something. He, instead of answering why should the company employ me, why should the company employ you, he told her, rather the question should be, why should I choose your company to work for? Why should I choose? And she was like, okay, so you tell me, why should this company choose you? If that is how you want to rephrase. He's saying, no. Just imagine, the lady's taking his interview and she's asking him, why should we select you? So he's saying, why should I choose you? Why should I choose you? He's asking her instead. So she was like, fine, tell me, why should you? So then he started thinking, well, as one, the environment is good, and I'll choose. So even though the answer was slightly witty, I don't recollect what she exactly told me. The reason why she rejected him is because he, being a college student, just recently graduated, she found him too cocky. And one of the red flags is, if you have someone who's too cocky or who's too much of a show off. He had, gelled hair and all that stuff, and she was like, it's more like I'm giving a job to a diva. I would rather have someone who is more humble, puts their head down to work and does stuff. So, well, she told me that she liked him. He was smart, but he was a bit too overly smart. So maybe a tip that you can learn from here is, don't try to reinvent the wheel. If someone asks you, why should I give you the job? Don't tell them, why should I select you? Come on, man. You need the job that provided you need. The company doesn't die for you. The company will survive without you. Number three, this one is a classic. My friend who's a Malayali, is from South India, slightly reserved and all that. He simple company. It's not a very big company, but he got this guy who educated abroad, and he comes and just imagine he's telling this Malayali guy, hi, my name is so and so. Like, he asked him his introduction. Hi, my name is so and so. And then he tells him, my pronouns are he and him. So my Malayali friend didn't understand, because he's not very, social media. He is slightly older. It was like, what? It was like, my pronouns are he and him. Because, this guy maybe studied in Canada, or my pronouns are he and him. You can call me he and him. He couldn't understand. Him? Your name is he? He really went blank, huh? And then this guy suddenly became embarrassed, and he was like, no. Then he started to explain to him that in Canada, you can be a boy, or you can be... He went on this long tangent, and this guy, he was so confused, because later on he had a conversation with me and I had to explain to him. He didn't understand. And subsequently, he just got out of that interview zone. And then he said, okay, he asked him the other basic questions and bye-bye. I mean, you have to be so stupid to understand that this culture of he, him, she, her, they, them, zim, zer, this is only in these countries of the West where they are jobless, man. And even there, Employers are not interested to employ someone who says on their CV, my pronouns are so. Then they know that they're dealing with the idiot. And in this case, the employer is a Malayali. You're telling him my pronouns are him and he and him. He was like, what is he, him? I had to explain to him. And he was like, oh, goodness, good thing I didn't employ this man. He assumed that because he studied in Canada, worked in Canada, he would have an international kind of look. But now he has decided he'll only employ someone from India who has either been in UAE, India, not educated abroad. Now he has got allergy to all these people. Him and here. Yeah, stupid. Number 4. Here's a tip for you ladies. Okay, when you're going for an interview, if you are trying to impress a guy, and a guy is taking an interview and you're trying to impress him with things other than your skill, just make sure you don't overdo it. And by that, I mean, if you want to show your cleavage or you want to show your sexiness, this particular female, don't want to give the nationality, she made sure that a little bit of distraction was a little bit shown too much. And not only that, there was a nice gold chain which was just, there. And the perfume also, it seems, was very good. She was dressed to kill. This guy who took her interview, he told me, Loy, I really liked the candidate. And I liked her even more after I saw her with this cleavage. But he was like, I knew for a fact she would be willing to have a jing bang with me and I would not be able to control. So for the sake of saving my marriage, I decided not to give her a job. He's saying, I know for a fact she would be ready to have anything. So it's unfortunate that she, being so talented, so gifted, so experienced, she fit the profile properly, but he said no to her because, well, she was showing a bit too much. So sad, he wanted to be loyal to his wife. Otherwise, he would have given her the job. He did show me the photograph. Good looking female, I would say. Nice. So female who's showing a cleavage. Come on, yeah. Come on. Okay, number 5. This one I wouldn't have believed it if had it not been for my friendship with this guy. But he's a young chap. Young chap in the sense he's my age, and his office is in this shopping mall. Okay, so you know how shopping malls are. They search for parking space and all that. And as he was trying to get the parking space, the guy in front, it seems, reversed and went back. So this guy got a little pissed because you all have to go straight, And this guy, instead of going straight, he reversed and went to his parking, and he was really pissed. And he told this guy, "What?" And obviously they had he just brushed him aside, the slightly Arab young candidate. And so he was pissed, but there was no fight as such, but he was really pissed off with him. So he went around searching for the parking. And lo and behold, guess what? The guy who parked turned out to be the candidate whom he had to face. And the person taking the interview is the guy he took his space. So my friend was actually taking his interview and he had taken his parking space. Luckily for him, my friend didn't actually use it against him. But he said, it was bugging him back of the head that if a guy cannot respect rules just to get what he wants, tomorrow when he's working for our organization, if something doesn't suit his, something which will benefit him, he might not actually follow the rules. So he didn't reject him, but he did put a note on that. And I think that proved to be the basis for which his boss rejected this candidate. By the way, just so that he did apologize later on, and he told him, no, it's fine, happens. I'm not going to use this incident against you, but I'm more interested for you to know the job. But then again, he did put. So next time when you're going for an interview, just go a little bit early so you don't fight over the parking space. And normally I read this only on the internet, and I think that these are internet stories. I never thought it would actually happen. Number 6. Yeah, this is more of a lady, multinational company. I'll give you a clue. Airline. She was among the finalists, but she made one big mistake. Very, very big mistake. At the interview, she said, she made it very clear, I have to go home on time. Had she put a full stop there, I have to go home on time. Why? Because she has a daughter or a child or whatever she has. They still wouldn't have had a problem giving her the job. She was almost going to be selected. But after that sentence, she said something which she shot herself in the foot. She said, as you know, work is my second priority. My first priority is my family and my kid. So after she finished the interview, there were 2 or 3 people who were taking the interview, and one of them was even a lady. And she said, "See, this is what they discussed, and which was told to me later. See, as a woman, I know that a child is very important, family is very important, and many of us do not have the luxury of having a servant in the house. Yes, your family is important, but you don't go around telling your employer on the face, your work is not my first priority, and the job that pays you the salary is not my first. My daughter and my family is my first priority. So anytime they call me, it's like hell with you." That is the kind of attitude that she gave. Should have got the job. Should have got the job. It was straight shift, I think 5 days a week. Only thing, she opened her mouth and said, work is not my first priority. I mean, aren't you stupid to say that? Point number 7, something that I always tell people. This guy from North India went to meet my friend who's also into Toastmasters, into public speaking. But over there, when he went, I mean, because my friend is in Toastmasters and he's into communication, all that, this guy went there and he put on an accent. Can you imagine someone, "Hi, my name is Rahul." Example I'm giving. Maybe his name was something else. "My name is Rahul Khanna. Yeah. I'm from India. India." If you're putting on an accent, either it should be second nature to you, or it shouldn't be so weird that a person finds it difficult to talk to you. What my friend told me is, one is I couldn't understand jack shit of what he was saying. And secondly, he was trying so hard to be like this and like that. I was like, something is really wrong with this guy. Don't put on an accent, my dear friends. Just be yourself. Just communicate clearly. So yeah, he put on an accent, got rejected. Number 8. This one may be controversial. Maybe you'll agree, disagree. But when the employer, this guy is slightly aged. Okay, he's like in his 60s. He runs a big business. He asked this female, "So what are your goals?" And he, like a father figure, he made this female very comfortable. And she told him, "My goal is to get married and have a family, start a family," and all that. He was very, okay, happy. "So when you plan to, yeah, after I get a job, I'll get married." And because of that, she got rejected. Now you might say, "Isn't that wrong, Loy? Why shouldn't a woman want to get married?" Yeah, see, here's the problem. You get married, it's fine. But after you get married, you have to go for your honeymoon. So which means you'll take a off. And then after the honeymoon, if you're pregnant, once again, you have to give the person an off. So when you join a company, 3 months it'll take you for you to get accustomed to the job. Okay. After 3 months is where the employer will actually get the ROI, return on investment, for whatever he spent on you. But by the time you go for a honeymoon and when you come back, you're already pregnant. And after 9 months, you'll take maybe a 6 months maternity leave. So he was like, I didn't want all that trouble. Yeah. So I was like, if she already has made up her mind that she wants to get married and have children after she gets a job, I wish her all the best. But I would rather have a guy who doesn't have all these plans, but just wants to focus on work. So ladies, sometimes think what you're going to say. If you're planning to have one kid every year, there are some organizations that cannot handle that. Or even, I think even in Qatar Airways, if you they want like cabin crew will not have kids for 3 years or the duration of the contract, because others, they give you a job and then you can't do the job because your stomach is so big. Like what? You can tell me if I'm wrong. Number 9. This one was slightly embarrassing. Female walks in and only to realize, like, there are 2-3 guys sitting with the interview, only to realize that her zipper was open and she was wearing, it seems, white and a nice red panty. So one of them, like, they were wondering who's going to say, and then one other guy said, he, gestured to that lady. He told her that her zipper was open. She got so shocked, she just left. So, well, they did enjoy a good view, I guess. Red panty with white. Listen, good combination. It seems uh, like my friend was kind of like confused. He was like, should I have said? But anyway, they were all close, so they were cool with it. But just imagine, whole interview, when you sit down, your zipper is open and you can see everything. So it was pretty uncomfortable for all of them. And last, if not the least, I think this is more of a new millennium generation. This female who comes to the interview, as she gets on the interview, as she's coming in, she takes her phone and she's like, yeah, I've come for the interview and hey, I'm going to be here. Hey, you can see everything. And then she sat down and then she was busy texting. So the owner of the company, he, again, has cameras and he is busy watching her. What is she doing? And she kept looking at her phone and she kept taking photographs and selfies and all that. And that in itself, because of that, he rejected her before she even could start the interview. The interview that he had with her was very short. And when I asked him, why do you reject? He's saying, if a girl, or even a guy for that matter, if he has to document everything that he does on video and keep sharing on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and whatever, he's saying it'll be a bit of problem when they join my organization. Tomorrow, if things don't work out well, and you start putting, dirty laundry up on social media, I'll find it very difficult to handle it. So don't want the drama, don't want someone who's addicted to social media. And that's why he said no. So anyway, these were the 10 job disasters that took place. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Which one do you think was funny? Which one do you think was stupid? Which one do you think maybe the decision maker was wrong? I would love to know your thoughts. So having said that, good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. And yeah, if you have any such stories, feel free to share with me. I love to know more about them. Okay, you guys take care. Ciao. See you. Bye.